The BRP Jose Rizal is more than just another ship in the Philippine Navy. It represents a turning point, a leap forward from decades of relying on hand-me-down vessels into the realm of modern, multi-role warships. Built by Hyundai Heavy Industries in South Korea, the Jose Rizal is the lead ship of its class and carries with it not only the name of the country's national hero but also the responsibility of ushering the Navy into a new era. At first glance, it may look like any sleek modern frigate with its sharp lines, reduced clutter on deck, and that low-profile silhouette designed to confuse radar. But underneath that appearance lies a ship carefully designed for balance, speed, endurance, firepower, and adaptability. This frigate displaces around 2,600 tons, stretches a little over 107 meters long, and is designed for survivability in rough seas. It's built with high-tensile steel, laid out with a mix of transverse and longitudinal framing, giving the hull both rigidity and flexibility. From the start, the design emphasized reduced radar cross-section. That means fewer right angles, smoother surfaces, and careful shaping to make the ship appear smaller on enemy radar. For a nation that operates in contested waters, the ability to stay harder to track is a big advantage. Powering the Jose Rizal is a CODAD setup, combined diesel and diesel. Instead of a mix of turbines and diesels, it runs entirely on diesel engines, 4 MTUSTX units that give the ship a top speed of about 25 knots, which translates to a little over 46 kilometers per hour. Now, that's not record-breaking compared to high-end Western frigates with gas turbines, but it's efficient. Efficiency is key for the mission set the Philippines needs: long patrols, extended deployments, and the ability to cover wide maritime zones. On a steady cruise of 15 knots, the Jose Rizal can stretch her legs out to about 4,500 nautical miles, which is enough to cover the Philippine archipelago and then some. The ship can also remain at sea for roughly 30 days without needing resupply, a crucial factor for a navy that must constantly patrol far-flung islands. The crew complement is relatively lean at around 65 personnel, plus additional aircrew or specialists depending on the mission. That lower crew size comes from a high level of automation. Modern systems handle a lot of the monitoring and management tasks that, in older ships, required a larger team. Of course, the trade-off is that in a battle scenario, when damage control or manual operations are needed, fewer hands can be a limiting factor. Still, for day-to-day operations and cost savings, the lean manning is a smart choice. The real strength of the Jose Rizal lies in its sensors and combat systems. At its core is the Hanwha Naval Shield Baseline 2 combat management system, the digital brain that links everything together: radar, sonar, electronic warfare, weapons, communications. Feeding this system are modern sensors like the Hensoldt TRS 3D radar, a multi-mode phased array unit capable of tracking both air and surface targets simultaneously. Navigation is handled by Kelvin Hughes Sharp-Eye radars, which are solid-state and provide reliable coverage in all weather. For close-in tracking and fire control, there are electro-optical systems, and beneath the waves, the ship carries a hull-mounted sonar. This sonar can detect submarines within a respectable range, though there are plans to eventually add a towed array sonar for even deeper detection capabilities. Electronic warfare hasn't been neglected either. The ship carries the Alizra RESM system, which picks up enemy radar and communication signals, and pairs this with decoy launchers like the Terma Sea Guard, which can fire flares and chaff to confuse incoming missiles. In modern naval warfare, it's not always about shooting first, it's about surviving that first incoming salvo, and the Jose Rizal has at least the basics covered. As for armament, the Jose Rizal has been outfitted with a mix of offensive and defensive systems. Its main battery is a 76mm OTO Melara super rapid gun at the bow, capable of engaging surface targets, aircraft, and even providing limited anti-missile defense. Behind that, the ship mounts 2 twin launchers for the Seastar SSM 710K missiles. These are supersonic sea-skimming anti-ship missiles that give the frigate real offensive punch against larger vessels. For point defense against aircraft and missiles, it carries the Simbad RC launchers, remotely controlled twin mounts firing Mistral 3 infrared homing missiles. In fact, in 2025 the Philippine Navy successfully fired a Mistral 3 from Jose Rizal during drills in the South China Sea, proving the system's effectiveness in real operations. Complementing these are secondary weapons like the Aselsan 30mm remote weapon system and several 12.7mm heavy machine guns for close-in defense, especially against small boats or drones. On the anti-submarine side, the Jose Rizal mounts two 324mm torpedo launchers, firing South Korea's Blue Shark torpedoes. But the real ace up its sleeve is the helicopter. The frigate has a full flight deck and hangar designed to accommodate the AW-159 Wildcat, which is equipped with its own sensors, torpedoes, and dipping sonar. With that, the ship's anti-submarine reach multiplies several times, covering far more area than its own hull sonar could. It's worth noting that the ship is also designed with growth in mind. Naval engineers call this, fitted for but not with. That means the design already includes reserved spaces, wiring, and support for future upgrades even if the systems aren't installed yet. On Jose Rizal, the most notable of these are an 8-cell vertical launch system for more advanced missiles, additional close-in weapon systems, and the towed array sonar. This approach keeps costs lower at the start but ensures that when budget and political will align, the ship can be brought up to higher standards without a complete redesign. Since her commissioning, Jose Rizal has taken part in numerous exercises, sovereignty patrols, and international missions. She has operated alongside allied navies, showing that the Philippine Navy is now able to plug into multinational task forces. One milestone was her first replenishment at sea, receiving fuel while underway, a maneuver that greatly increases operational flexibility. In trials and live operations, the frigate systems have generally performed well, with some teething issues but no deal-breaking flaws. Of course, no ship is perfect. While Jose Rizal is modern and versatile, she is not as heavily armed as some regional frigates. Until her vertical launch system is installed, her air defense relies on short-range missiles and guns, which means she's vulnerable against massed or long-range air threats. Her speed, while adequate,